You are listening to the Try Guys podcast. I'm your host, John O'Newland, along with Jimmy, the Cowboy Newland, and Kane, No Bucks Raisner. We are here to entertain you through your workout, not teach you how to work out, but you might learn something along the way. Oh, I didn't fade it. It's abrupt.
What's up, people?
Why was I cowboy?
Cowboy?
Yeah, I don't understand that. Yeah, what's cowboy?
I was carrying from last episode. He was claiming he was riding horses and comparing something to riding a horse.
Oh, okay.
I was carrying it over. But I guess that is the answer to a question I had for you. I forgot to ask Kane, but hunting proved unfruitful. Or did you get a doe? That's No Bucks was the name, not No Does.
Nope, I have not fired a shot yet this season. Our neighbors have been laying claim to the area. It's been like a war zone out there. Actually, not that many shots. We've been practicing QDM lately, or just like we have this co-op meeting, we call it, where we get all the local landowners together and we just talk about deer and.
Is that a podcast? You didn't tell us about?
I think we're going to turn it into a podcast, actually.
Let's talk about deer.
No, I'm kidding.
This one's got 6 horns.
So interesting.
Hey, it would be pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Anyway, so they've shot all the deer, and we haven't seen any big ones yet.
Did you call an emergency meeting to let them know that it's your turn?
that's
I did not get one yet.
Please stop.
Hey, next year, can you
It's like
leave
a
some
town
for
hall,
us?
middle of the woods, in the middle of the night.
Someone stands up in the middle and just yells, "Leave our bucks now!"
Do you have any property disputes with your neighbors?
Wait, what do you mean by property disputes?
I don't know. Like in these meetings, it's like, no, actually, the crabapple tree's on my side.
No,
I don't know why
it's
you're
not like
southern
that.
now.
But we tried to do this. We tried to do a QDM thing, like I don't know.
What is
maybe
QDM?
6 or 7 quality deer management.
Oh.
So it just means you harvest only deer that are a certain age, or deer that should be harvested. So you're trying to grow bigger bucks, basically, is what it is.
And help
but
the
It's
land.
a blood pact.
The blood pact, yeah,
bleed
it's
on
exactly
each
right.
other.
Yep. No, like that's the first thing we do when we get together. It's about the brotherhood, so we'll all cut our hands and bleed in a bowl.
Take a rifle and just fire a hole in the hand.
We all take a drink.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the chalice that's of a deer antler. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well, this isn't one of them type of podcasts. I ain't listening to that. Anyway, well, it hit pretty cold this week. That's some new news. It was in the 20s as I was working toward my squad goals, which we'll couldn't cover later.
Great for deer hunting.
Gets the deer moving. That's what
Great for
Exactly
burning
right.
a brush pile too.
Hey, what is a brush pile for our listeners?
It's a
Pile of brush.
It's a pile. Of, it's a pile of only brush. A pile of only brush that we burn.
Just put a bunch of tires to hold it up.
Oh,
Right underneath.
the tires.
What is only brush?
It's only brush. There's nothing else but brush in there.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, the brush is just
and couches and
it's a covert mechanism to hide everything else that's under it.
everything in there. Everything in there is burnable.
Yeah, it burns as much as that Tesla. You see that story?
If it gets hot enough. What? The Tesla?
The Tesla? A Tesla caught on fire in PA here, and it burned for like 6 or 7 hours. I don't know, something crazy. But they said the fire department said it took 5,000 gallons of water to put out the car. Yeah, and it normally takes 500 to put out a car.
All that gas in
the
there.
lithium ion battery just.
There's got to be some other substance that they can put on the lithium batteries to put them out quicker.
We don't think through that. We got water at our disposal.
It drives itself.
Throw it on the fire.
Maybe it's like an oil fire. Just keeps getting bigger.
You guys
it was just like kept heating up. We got like 2-ish inches, not like Buffalo.
Not like Buffalo.
Dude, Buffalo got smashed.
That was awesome.
What was the final count of that storm? It was like 6 feet.
77 inches. 77 inches, I think, was the last I heard. Yeah, 77, 6.5 feet. They're inches away from the record, I think.
That wasn't even the record?
No.
In middle of November.
Yeah, that
is crazy. It came pretty fast because it was like 2 weeks ago. It was like the 70s here. Well, I mean the snow. I meant winter descended quickly.
Oh,
I got up.
It's
my
supposed
first
to be nice
run this
here.
week.
It's supposed
gonna
to be
be nice?
I know you keep trying to get to like actual fitness.
Oh
And
no! I was just saying it was cold when I was running.
I thought you were
It was 27
like,
out.
isn't my first
Oh,
run
no.
this week? It's supposed to get like warm
So
here.
triathlons.
again. In the like in triathlon, it's supposed to get warm here in like a couple weeks. Again, not next week, not Thanksgiving week, but the
next
week
week
after.
next week's gonna be
Next
nice.
week, nice, but the week after is supposed to be really nice.
Mm.
Like my dad and Uncle Kevin are talking about golfing, trying to get one more
Hey.
round of golfing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I was out. There I was running.
Oh, did you ran?
I ran a couple times.
And it was cold.
It was cold, but I think I did get through the histamine starter thing. My legs don't itch anymore, so that's good.
Nice. Oh,
So
so
I
it
don't know if
goes away after you
Yeah, after I get started into running, then it will go away. So I think it's just the muscles response or something. Like I don't know.
Huh.
I don't know what,
That's interesting.
but I do build a tolerance. of
So do you
histamine.
think if you went on like a really long run, then your body would wear down and you'd get that histamine response, or if you did like a really fast run?
No, I don't know, because
We should test it.
it's really like starting from not running to going to run. That's like the only time I get it, and the
Interesting.
cold exacerbates it. I don't know why, but it's not as much in the summer.
I think
so
that's
maybe
just
it might be like
our
muscles heating
makeup,
up.
our genetic makeup. The cold just ruins us.
Yeah,
Where's your family ancestry from?
Cold.
Sweden.
Sweden.
Do you not know that? I always talk about that.
Yeah, me too.
We are like
at least twice
over
a day.
least twice a
50% Swedish. No, I think we're 50.
Didn't Grandpa come over here with his dad?
Grandpa was first generation American. He was born here. I don't think he came.
Oh,
over.
okay.
He
His
he
dad
grew
came
up
over
speaking
here.
Swedish,
Yeah, yeah.
and then he started. Yeah, so he's full Swede, and then so we're about 50%, I think.
So that's
how it
why
works.
you guys always had Swedish pancakes
Yes,
Oh.
for breakfast.
all the time.
that was. And
Welcome.
I honestly, I didn't know anything. And the first time I saw a fat pancake, I was like, "What is this? What kind of crap is on my plate?"
Really? So you guys actually
Yeah,
grew
I
up
was-
not having any
Oh,
fucking
dude,
pancakes?
fat pancakes are the worst. They're the
Dude,
worst,
they were.
dude.
They get all soggy with
They're
syrup.
terrible. They're thick
Yeah.
and like it's just like it fills your mouth in an unpleasant way.
Yeah,
And it's like
and then
swallowing
you're
air.
instantly bloated and
Yeah.
full.
Dude, Swedish
Yeah.
pancakes were
could pound 'em.
heardy. Yeah.
Yeah,
And if
put
you didn't want
peanut
to
butter,
take your time
it was
cutting
too
it, you
much.
just roll that thing up, fold it, and just eat it all in one bite. Yeah, I don't.
That's insane.
When I first
It
had
was
a
like
fat
in
pancake,
between
it was the worst.
Yeah, it was a bad experience. It was
See,
probably
that's
the
why pancakes
pancake
in the
thing.
ranking of French toast, waffles, pancakes is like 3 by a mile for me because when I think of pancakes in that ranking, I don't think of the Swedish pancakes. If
Yeah.
it was Swedish
so
pancakes,
what's number one?
French toast.
Wait, what was the three? What was the three? French
toast, waffles, and pancakes.
waffles. What kind? The Belgian waffle or like a Kellogg's? Is it Kellogg's?
Whatever kind of
What
waffle.
kind of
Oh,
what's those frozen ones?
Eggo.
What are
Eggo.
those?
Eggo. Eggo.
Kellogg's.
Lego my Eggo.
There's G's in it. I guess. Yeah, I would probably pick.
I don't know. Mine's French toast,
toast.
waffle. And
I
then
love
pancakes.
waffles. I love
But
waffles.
Swedish pancakes are
Yeah, waffles
above
are-
everything.
Yeah.
The
I
Yeah.
make
and the
them
Swedish.
pretty often.
Okay, so
Do you
if
make
people
'em?
don't
Do you
know
make
what
'em,
a
Jim?
Swedish pancake is,
Oh, yeah.
a Swedish pancake is basically a crepe. Like
It's
just
a
a very
little bit
thin-
thicker. A little
a
thicker.
little
crepe.
bit thicker. Yeah.
The consistency's not as stretchy. It's
Yeah, they're not
almost
that
like
good, guys.
If
They're
you
not
get
that
like
good.
if you get 5 of those stacked up,
hey.
if you get 5 of those stacked
Oh my
up
gosh.
and you cut,
You
oh,
can you can put down so many of those things, and then it hits you like
it's
a
so
rock.
good. Yeah.
It's really good. Do you
yeah,
make
take-
them?
You got
Have you?
to take a nap. I don't. I
you-
haven't done it. I've tried
I've
it before, but
I've got it down now.
really,
The legacy
oh,
is
that's nice.
going on.
Grandma's recipe.
It's moving
Yeah.
down. Yeah, I think it was.
I know. I should do it. I should.
No, it was
be trying
Grandpa's.
that
It was
on
actually
Saturdays.
Grandpa's.
Yeah,
One of the
I should be
keys
trying
is-
that on Saturdays.
Grandpa always said one of the keys.
One of
is
the
to
keys is spitting it.
leave- would put
Leave what?
That's a Swedish
little
thing.
leave like little clumps of flour. Like don't blend
Yeah,
all
just
the
like they do with
flour
their
in and put
potatoes.
in. Yeah,
Leave clumps of potatoes in your mashed potatoes.
What does that do? The clumps of
I don't know.
flour.
nothing. It just probably he didn't stir it up all the way, and just that's the
Fried
way
your
he passed it on. That's just the way he did it, I guess. But they're good.
Oh,
I
boy.
blend them out now. I adapted. We have better technology today. I got the hand
I think
crank
I
one.
need a good pan for it. Do you use a bunch of shortening like Dad did?
Yeah, Crisco.
Yeah,
Crisco's key.
Crisco. Yeah, shortening. Yeah, vegetable shortening.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I was doing with it too. But
Then
I
you
don't
gotta
know. It
get
feels like you need
Took
it
a little
every
while.
single pancake. Because
Yeah.
the ones that are on the fresh pan are really good, but after you get like 3 pancakes in on the
That's the
Crisco,
temperature.
they get like brown. I like when they're yellow,
Oh yeah.
like the yellow.
Oh
The
yeah, the
brown I'm
softening.
talking about where it looks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I like the little bit of brown though. It's like a little bit of burnt.
Well, I like the
Start
burnt,
darkening.
but not like the light brown. I like it yellow with. Yeah, I don't know.
Sounds way too
Triathlons.
complex.
They are great. We will. The first 10 people who follow us will get the
I
recipe.
will send a Swedish pancake to you.
I will send one. I will
I will
box it up.
send a Swedish
stack of
pancake
5
in the mail.
Anyway, what's your heritage?
Wait, that's a good
Kane?
idea.
Now that we're talking about heritages,
Uh,
heritage I. Is that the plural?
I'm Eastern European mostly. So my mom's side is like heavy Polish. And actually my dad's side, my dad's dad, his family is from what is modern day Poland, but it was a different country back then. And we actually traced their lineage back. And we actually were in Germany a few years ago, and we were visiting this guy that works for us. And his neighbors had a map of this old country, and they grew up 10 minutes from where my ancestors were from. It was the
Wow.
coolest thing ever. They spoke zero English, but they were like
That's pretty
pointing
cool.
out on a map, and like, yeah,
Yeah.
we had the translator guy there. It was
That's
really cool.
nuts. So Polish
So-
people have dark hair? I
Some.
guess I can't. I don't know. I think of like that area. I'm terrible with European geography, but like definitely
Not as bad as
Scandinavian
me.
area, like more blonde and everything. Because out here in Pittsburgh, there's a lot of Italians. There's a lot of there's some German and stuff. But like being blonde, there's not a lot of blonde people. There's fake blondes dyeing their hairs. But we run around with a whole blonde family, and it's like,
Yeah.
stick out a little bit.
So my dad's mom is heavy French, so that could be where I get my dark hair
Oh
from.
yeah, and that
Yeah.
mustache. It's just a perma mustache. You
mustache.
can't take it off.
I know it's about to.
It's looking
curl,
good,
and I'm
though.
Really excited.
Oh,
It
you're gonna
looks
start
really good.
curling it? How big are you gonna go
Yep.
to the curl?
I don't know. We'll see. In 19, I had it pretty bushy, and it was nice.
Did you
But
just do it
eventually-
for Movember?
I just kind of did it just to do it. It just happened to fall on November, so I kind of say I am, but I really just
Yeah.
do it just because.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. Does Lexi like it?
She doesn't hate it.
Oh, okay.
I think
I-
once it gets to a certain
That's
point,
why I don't
it's
have
like
one.
very overpowering, and then when she kisses me, then it like is hard. It's like tickling her. Upper lip. Yeah, like
I
that.
almost burned all mine off today. The brush pile.
What? The brush pile.
Yeah.
The brush.
My hair
pile.
was on fire. My hair up here was on
Really?
fire. Like I was talking
What
to
the
Dad,
heck
and he's
were you
like,
doing?
hey, he's like, there's steam come from your head. I was like, I smell burnt hair. And then Eric was next to us. He's like, oh, I smell it too. Yeah. He's like, yeah, your hair's on fire.
Oh, you go back up.
It didn't do
Wow.
You're
enough.
just sticking your head in the pile.
Well, we got really
There
close.
must have
'cause
been,
we were
must have been an
there's a
ash
bunch
that
of-
fell on it.
Yeah, and it was on the outside. I
yeah.
don't know, whatever burned, but it was. Yeah, we got pretty close. We
It's
got
a
pretty
big
close
bald
because we were
spot.
moving.
Is that what you got a
stuff.
hat on?
I got it all there.
It's all there.
Wait, was this at your parents'?
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Well, now that we've hit a lot of training
Important parts.
topics, let's get right into the question of the day. I should get a sound for that.
That's a good idea.
It won't be that one. Will that be it? Oops.
Nope.
So, question of the day today, as we transition into a little bit more focused on endurance training, is what's the biggest thing you've learned so far from endurance training? And we'll take that through your whole lifespan. Anything that you learned when you were younger, but I mean, obviously more consolidated now as we're training for events. So, Kane, how about you start with that one?
Yeah. Okay.
Don't pick mine. Don't pick mine.
You can.
I'm gonna say I've learned how far you can push your body with the proper plan. And I just keep
Ooh.
going back to, because my only really long distance endurance race I've done is my marathon. And I mean, it wasn't easy. Obviously, I got my butt kicked by it, but all of the training that led up to it, like there was no way I would have been able to go out there and finish that marathon had I not trained for it. and it just kind of shows me how far you can push it, and like how like the speed that I was going at the first 9 miles was exactly to my goal. And then some things fell apart. But I think, had I done some things a little bit differently, I could have gotten a lot closer to where my goal time was. So I don't know.
Does it
I'm kind of
surprise
excited to.
you? Does it surprise you where you're at? Like, because I know, like growing up together, you never wanted to be like an endurance athlete. Does it surprise you now seeing like doing the training for the marathon, like where you got to compared to where you thought, like when you were before focusing more on just weightlifting and gains and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, in high school, I hated running a mile, and like the 1 mile was the worst thing in the world. And like throughout that entire 14-week training period for the marathon, I thoroughly enjoyed every single run that I went on. Even if they, there were some times that they sucked and
Yeah.
some miles that sucked, but I loved it, everything about it.
When did that transition for you? Like, when did you enjoy running? Because I remember when you were starting to like text about that you were going out running or like, and I was a little bit surprised just because I knew like the different type of style of workout you were doing. But do you remember a point when it was like, oh, I actually enjoy this?
Yep. So it's when we moved out here to my current place. So it was we closed on Valentine's Day of 2020. So that spring is when I really started to run a lot, and a lot of it was because of COVID and the gyms being shut down. But I do remember running some the summer prior. So it kind of started there, but it really like clicked for me in 2020. So 2 years ago.
Interesting. I wonder if it'd be interesting to see any statistics on, when gyms shut down, if people did transition over in any capacity to doing more. Like I know people were doing at-home workouts and stuff, but if some people were like, oh, I actually like this. Obviously you did. So
or how many pounds were gained
that's
after
probably
gyms shut down.
that's probably a bigger statistic, but
Yeah.
It pushed. Hey, actually, it pushed me enough in that time to get a bike to go out to do stuff outside because I didn't want to run. Like
Wow.
when it shut down, COVID, because I
So
got
that
big
was
enough
kinda-
to where I was like, oh man, I got to do something, but I don't want to run. So then I got the bike, and then the bike, it's like, what can I do with this? Pushed me into triathlons. It's like, well, I want to avoid running, but now I'm running again. But then I liked it, which is actually, now I'll answer my part of it. Biggest thing I learned, and probably the best thing for me, was that most of the training that you do is done very slow and like longer runs and like most of the benefit you get out of it is doing it slow, which was like a huge help for me, because my mindset before, which is wild to think now, is that when I'd go out, every time I ran, the next time I ran had to be faster. Like I had to go faster and faster, or at least be right there,
way.
or else I'm not
train like you fight. Yeah.
So it's like, or else I'm not improving. And then James had sent me a video showing me that, or it was a TED talk, and this guy was talking. It was like so eye opening. This guy was talking about how professional athletes, it's like 80% of their workouts are done in the zone 1. Wait, is that the low, like whatever is 1 and 2, zone 2?
Zone 2. Yep.
And that they don't do much hard workouts. So it was like, once I realized that, and then so I was trying to run, like I was running miles in like the 8 minutes, and I was not ready for that. So after I'd be done, I'd be gassed when I was done. I couldn't walk the next day, and then it was like, okay, I got to still go out and like sprint 3 miles again, and hate. And I just kept hating it. You got
to a 3:30-minute mile, and you're like, I don't know if I can beat
that. I kept dreading running because of that. And then when like talking to James, he's like, I really want to see you do more runs, but I want you to be in like the 10 to 11 minute mile range when you're running. And I want to see you be able to run farther with those more than, he's like, I'm not impressed that you're running fast. He's like, that's just dumb. Like you're going to hurt yourself. He's like, I want to see you run in the 10 to 11, 10 to 12 minute mile ranges and run farther. And I want to see that more often. I was like, all right. So, and I did it. And it was like, just amazing. Like after the first run, I was like, oh my gosh, this didn't hurt at all. Like I could have probably kept running. I only had a certain distance. And I think so. Now another good thing from it is that who's echoing? I hear it. I hear someone.
I hear it too. I hear you echoing.
Me?
I don't hear anything.
Well, I heard my voice through the echo, but not through my own.
A little voice in your head.
All right, whatever. Now I run. Who's that echoing through? Am I too loud?
Hear it at all.
Do you hear it, Kane?
I hear it when I talk, and I hear it when you talk.
Little insight on Jimmy when something gets in his mind, he's got to solve it before he can move on.
I'm gonna only hear myself. I'm sorry. Okay. So now I think more of like running for a duration more than distance, and that's been like also another thing. So if you think you're gonna go out and run 10 miles, it's like a big, tall task to tackle. But if you think of it like, hey, I'm gonna go out and run for an hour and a half, something like that, like it's way easier to handle.
Yeah, go for time.
In my head, like you're just like, oh, I'll be gone for an hour and a half, not like 10 miles, because then you're still trying to rush it and push it. But yeah, that's my thing is taking it slow has been a huge help to me, and I've improved
80-20.
a lot of that. Yeah,
80% of your 80% of your training should be at a slow, easy pace, and a 20% should be speed work and tempo.
Hey, what about the 40% rule?
40% of your workout should be 60.
No, David Goggins' rule, the 40% rule.
Break your foot and keep running.
It's basically that. It's when you hit your like max, you're only at 40% capacity.
I don't believe that.
I don't know.
That lends to Kane's, like you can push your body farther than you think.
Yeah, but I get that guy's a freak, but there's some.
Well, no, obviously there's going to be a limit at some point, but the purpose of it is more of a motivational statistic or rule in your head. Like, okay, I hit a wall. Well, I can go a little more. I got 60% left.
I just ran a 6-minute mile, so I'm actually only at 40% of my capacity, so I can actually run 60% faster than that.
Yeah, 2 minutes.
I'm not going to do the math, but that's fast.
I hope I'm really close with 2 minutes, because that would look like good math.
What is it? All right, check it. Someone check.
What about you, Jono?
Oh yeah. So I feel like I have two different lives of endurance training. So I did like in high school and stuff. What I learned through that experience of doing cross country probably would be more along the lines with Kane. I remember so many times running, I just was like, I could just roll my ankle right now and I could get out of this race. I hate this so much. Like if I'm pushing at a fast pace, I literally like I'd be on a hill running. I'm like, I could just tumble down and nobody would blame me for quitting. Be like, oh, I just stepped on a root and just went down. True. Anyway,
I've had those thoughts too.
Yeah, it's always
just crash my bike. I don't have to do this triathlon anymore.
Just end this race. But so that one, after finishing at a fast pace and doing and just continually breaking some PRs and moving in that way. So that was kind of my experience in high school with that. Now coming back around, almost maybe more of a negative thing that I've learned is just not negative about myself. You need to be very disciplined to continue, but only in the sense of like, I put high goals in my head to like, okay, I want to do this. Like some of the squad goals in the past is like, oh yeah, I'll knock out 15 miles. I could do that. I've done that before, but being realistic to myself and where I'm at, compared to where I was when I was running, when I was younger. And just that it's a slow growth sport or discipline. Endurance training is that and that's freeing, and I think that's to your point, Jimmy, of like running slower and training slower. There's a lot of freedom in that when you think of it for a long-term growth compared to trying to like get gains really quick and be like, oh yeah, I could just hop back in right to where I was. So I'm kind of splitting those different experiences, and that's something I've learned about it, and I enjoy it. I can go out, do 9.5 minutes, 8.5 minute 3 mile or something like that, and still enjoy it and feel accomplished, and definitely want to keep increasing and growing in speed. And but that's kind of, I guess, taking both yours and my different experiences. I don't know if there's really anything new that I said there.
I don't know if there's much more that and there's lots I've learned, but yeah, the main things that we've said were the biggest things that made the biggest impacts on me.
Yeah, but it's a big that's a bigger philosophical shift that like, I don't know if it's philosophical, but mental shift is when you're approaching it. Cause there could be like obviously little pointers and tricks and training tips and stuff you learn. But when you, that's the biggest game, the mental game. And even what I told you guys this week is like, just getting out of bed is probably the hardest part of the run for me. It's like getting out of bed, getting my shoes on when it's 27 degrees out and just going.
But
And
it's
then,
also the biggest sense of accomplishment once
oh, it
you're
is.
there and like finish
Once
it.
you're there, you're
Right.
doing it. Once you finish, and then it's great. And that's that slow growth. Not thinking like, okay, I need to go out and run 8 miles today, but it's just like, get out of bed, do it again,
I feel
and
like there's
just
something about waking up in the morning too that almost pushes you more. Like I was talking to Kane yesterday, and I think there's something about waking up in the morning that like when I wake up, I feel like stronger even, and like when I'm working out in the morning, it feels like better than because when I get home if I'm going to work out in the afternoon and I get home from work, I try like I'm exhausted kind of, and it's like I'm finding excuses to try to get the workout done early. But if I set that time aside in the morning, I have nothing else to do that early in the morning that I could skip my workout for. I'm already up.
yeah,
I can't go back to sleep. So it's like
yeah,
I'm going to make the most out of this time that I can while I'm here. And I feel like it's pushed me. I feel like I've gotten a lot stronger that way. And then like my workouts have just been better. I've been able to focus because there's nothing else I can think about. Nobody's even awake. Like there's not anything else I'm missing out on at that time of day.
yeah. And because if I miss the morning, that's the thing I tell myself in the morning is like, oh, I could just find a time later today to do it. And then I get home from work, and then it's like, oh, I'm gonna make dinner or do something. And then it's like I ate, so I don't want to go run right now because I just ate. I want to wait a little bit longer, and then putting the kids down, all those little things that I've found that if I miss the morning window, very like drops my percentage of completing a workout drops drastically
Probably
the
drop
rest of
some
the day.
more because you probably feel bad for missing in the morning too. You probably
Yeah,
feel guilty
just
right off the bat.
guilty.
Like,
Like I go
well, I
through,
ruined this
yeah.
day.
Especially when I set the alarm, and then Hannah, my wife, is saying, "Oh, you gonna go run?" You gotta no.
That was a big motivation for me when Ashley, like, when I was like, okay, I'm gonna get up and go swim. She's like, yeah, okay. Good luck with that. You tried that before. It was like, yeah, okay. I'll see you in the morning.
You're just like,
Yeah.
get up, throw it.
That
on.
made me mad. Like that, it
Get
didn't
up.
make me mad. It just motivated me for that first time going swimming.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, I'll show you. I'll get out of here. But then I
Which
remember
is
when
good, right?
that alarm went off. I shut off the alarm, and I just sat there staring at my clothes. And I was like, I have free will to go lay back in that bed. No one's gonna care.
Yep.
Nobody cares. Nobody in the
I've had
world cares if I get up.
Those conversations.
I sometimes sit and stare at my clothes for a minute until I decide to put them on. But the big thing is, as long as you put them on, eventually, like your workout clothes. But I've sit there
feel
and
like
stare.
I feel like I've sat on the edge of the bed for 5 minutes at some times. Like it maybe not, but it just feels like forever. And I'm just sitting there and just like having that internal battle and saying like, oh, but you could just lay right back down. It'll feel so nice, so warm.
I put my
Oh.
phone on the. I put my phone far away
Yeah.
from the bed, so I have to get up. But then still, it's like
3 more steps back to the bed.
I know.
That's all it is.
I try to realize, like, I just kind of, I'm waking up, I'm like realizing what's happening. It's like, oh no, it's like I'm up for the day now, or I could not be if I don't want to be, but I'm actually up for the day.
And that's what's cool about that, and like lessons of life to like in endurance training is like those are things that carry over to other disciplines in life. Like because it's hard to accomplish in the sense of even just getting in a rhythm and a routine. Once you learn how to get better at this thing, like with running or biking or swimming, like you can apply the approach of that to a lot of other things, and just that monotonous discipline that you can just keep repeating. I don't know. I like it.
I will say I do enjoy the 5 a.m. workouts. And Lexi kind of got me onto those because she did a lot of early morning training for golf when she was in college. And so when we started dating, that's when she pushed me to do the 5 a.m. workouts. I don't know. We just started randomly for some reason.
Wake up, idiot.
But I will say that my like my best time of the day, like my what's the word I'm looking for? My preferred time of the
Prime
day that I
time.
would like prime
Peak
time, sure,
prime
whatever.
time.
Yeah. That I think I would perform best and like I enjoy working out the most is from like the 10 to 11 a.m. range. But for like everyday life, it's just not feasible to do that because we all have jobs and stuff. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
After
feel like
breakfast
I
hits
get
and you get it like settled and
right. Yep.
before
You get a
good
few
lunch.
hours of work in. Like college was awesome because you could go to
Just
class, you get up, have
whenever.
breakfast, have coffee, go to class, then come back. And I'd always schedule so I have like a 2-hour block where I could go work out like before lunch or right around lunchtime. Then shower, get your afternoon classes in, or get some afternoon work in, and then have the rest of your day and still feel accomplished.
College was so easy. So nice.
College was life, man.
Yeah, so nice.
Man. Well, now like having kids too, you put them down to bed, and to get up, I'd have to go to bed like like 2 hours after they go to bed and get back up and start it over. I'm just like, I just want to sit here, watch this movie, or sit and lay, try to extend the time before you have to start it all over again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was pretty good. I liked all the answers. They got more to the heart of the trainer than to like I don't know. I like those answers better than what I learned about glycogen.
I think that was I think the biggest part. Yeah, learning the biggest parts I've learned were the parts like that we talked about, not the actual like you run faster if you lift your knees higher, like stuff like that.
Also, one last thing to add.
Drive.
Here. This question was thought of by Lexi, and I told her I'd give her a shout out. So
Hey.
good job, Lex.
I was
Lexi.
like when you sent it, I thought
Yeah,
that
seemed a little deep for
it
you.
seemed
I was
really
like,
good.
Really? Okay, you want to talk about learning?
Yeah, what are you, my therapist?
I was gonna take credit for it, but I couldn't.
No, that when you sent that, I was like, that's a really good question.
All right,
Yeah.
we'll go with it.
Now we'll go to the subpart.
Not so
No.
serious. All right, yeah, we'll transition over to Would You Rather. Yeah, I got to get a sound for each of these.
Yeah, we'll get it.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da.
Would
That
you
was like
rather?
that was like a minor Mario.
Or we do like an acapella. Would
Okay.
you rather?
Yeah, I like that. We should all do it right now. Ready?
But
Question mark?
that's we got to harmonize.
And with that,
We'll practice. We'll practice.
Oh yeah. All right, so we'll go into the first one. This one's pretty good. I've experienced both of these pretty regularly. Would you rather do a triathlon, of course, with blisters on your feet or a side cramp? And it's the worst of both. So
The whole time.
we could talk about positions. So you start with it. Oh,
Well, we could say
I'm
they're
gonna-
both like mediocre too. Like the worst side cramp will actually probably like make you not be able to move.
You'd be dead.
Yeah.
The worst side
Your
cramp.
whole
It's called
It's a
appendicitis.
gunshot wound to the side.
your whole feet are covered in
Do you want
blisters.
someone to just fire around in your abdomen right before you run, or have blisters?
a beanbag shot ready to go?
Oh gosh, a riot control beanbag gun.
There's a dude sitting there in full riot gear. Like as you set
How
your-
much faster would you start out if a guy was just waiting for all the participants to start and just start firing beanbag rounds into
How
the crowd?
slow would you go if you knew there was a guy in full riot gear waiting to shoot you with the beanbag gun on your run?
Sounds like an addition you need for the Tough Mudders or for the what are those Spartan races?
I tell you what, if you knew that was coming, you'd have no pain for the entire first two legs of the triathlon.
Oh, I would hold my breath the whole
all
swim.
you think about is you put that bike up and you start your run, and that dude just sitting there with the beanbag gun.
Just hear the noise.
Is that a spud launcher?
You ever see those? They're like these it's like a hacky sack.
Yeah.
Little beanbag gun that it's like a riot control stuff.
So
I've never
So you don't
seen
kill
that.
people.
Launch
It's,
it.
it's like it's like a hacky sack.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Beanbag gun.
Yeah.
Oh, it's-
oh my gosh! I just
That would hurt so
sitting
bad.
in like a half squat, just like posted up, waiting for you to come out that gate with your running.
Oh man, they're like straight slugs.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Oh,
They'll put you out for a week. Maybe longer. I've never been shot by one. I assume they're the worst thing ever. I think
Just like getting off a horse, huh? Walk with a bow in your
I ride a horse with a lot.
ride a horse with a beanbag gun.
I assume
walking
if
around
you
bow-legged.
I assume if you get hit by one of those, you'd probably rather die. Like you'd probably be wishing you were dead. They'd hurt that
Oh.
bad.
It just sounds terrible. Playing that game, the 3-hit stitch game with a hacky sack getting pelted in the back.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
bad enough.
Even ultimate ping pong.
Jeez. All right, but a
Alright.
side cramp not that
Alright.
bad.
Okay.
But that would bug you the whole time and you'd be in pain, or blisters on your feet. I don't even know where to start.
I
Alex.
think
Have you guys had really bad blisters?
they had to be popped, right? Because that's when they get irritated, right? Because you don't
I'm-
really like
yeah,
feel
The
the big
fluid
blisters
filled
until
one,
they pop.
you could still feel the fluid ones for sure.
Okay.
You feel the sliding. I've had blisters pretty regularly with
I-
like doing ruck marches and stuff.
After my marathon, my entire big toe was a blister.
Hey,
But it was the
You
fluid
pop it.
one, and I never popped it, and I never peeled it, so it healed, and it never actually hurt, which was amazing.
calcified. Now it's just a big pebble, at the bottom of your toe.
Like gout.
I've had like up the Achilles, like
on the back.
like like rubbed awful, and then the back of my heels have been like almost like full coated blister, and then opened up, and the heel is pretty rough. Toes and heel are I don't know. The ball of the foot would be terrible. So this is blisters anywhere, or should we pick a spot?
No, blisters.
No, it's blisters
feet.
on your feet.
I don't
Blisters
know
on
if
your
the
feet.
blisters anywhere
in
would,
there.
unless it was like
Blisters
Well,
on your
ball of the
stomach.
foot would be no. Yeah, you're covered in boils as you're running through this race.
in the,
No,
the
I'm saying
water
like
feels
blisters on the
acid on it.
location on your foot. So on the
Oh,
ball
I
of the
see.
foot, or on the toe, on the heel.
I feel like
The
there's
ball of the foot,
multiple.
you'd be stepping on that every time.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna answer first because
he's
blisters anywhere are like a game stop for me.
Really?
So I would definitely because
Really?
it's like a knife
Have you
going
had
into
a bad
your body
side
every single
cramp?
time.
I would definitely take the blisters because the side cramp deals with your breathing. Like, yeah, I don't know. Every time I got a side cramp, it's like messes with my breathing. Like side stitches are pretty brutal.
I guess I've never had a side cramp bad enough to sway me that.
Dehydrate for 48 hours and go
The
run.
dehydrated side cramps are the like I
Yeah,
did a
they're
5-mile
pretty
run
rough.
and it was like mid 80s and it was sun beating on me on the last like 2 miles, just straight on me. I didn't have water on me and I was drying up real quick. And I caught a side stitch and it was bad. Yeah. Like breathing, it just gets rough with breathing because like, you have to take.
Well,
these
if you
weird
start
breaths.
with a blister though, like a side cramp, it's painful, but when you're done, you're done. Like if you start with a blister and you run through a whole triathlon with it, any size, even a sprint, it's going to get worse, and it's going to take
But I
a
feel
while
like you
to
could
heal.
power through the pain of a blister.
You
throughout
could
the
power through,
event.
but
and
just
then it'll
think,
be
but
brutal
also-
after. It'll be brutal after.
Yeah.
Like, you have to deal with
Yeah,
it.
but think about the aftermath.
The side cramp
I
you could be done with,
but-
but during, I feel like I'd be so slowed down by that.
But
Yeah,
maybe
true.
you would
And-
just
and
slow
Like
your
Mike
time.
Tyson
and it
running
would-
next to you, just punching you in the gut.
With time and focus, I would probably pick blisters because I feel like I can push that out of my head easier. But
Wow, you guys
but
are
I would
savages.
hate the aftermath.
You
of
could hurt
just
yourself worse than a
opening a
blister
blister
if
up.
you wanted in a in a try. Oh, dude. Okay, so I was also I was telling Kane just before we started.
Yeah.
In Door County this year. My hat, Door County. In Door County
Okay.
this year, as I was coming out of the water, they were yelling. They're like, "Watch out! There's a like a layer of rock. Like, watch out for the rocks." I stepped on a rounded rock, like right on the inside of my, like right where my
Oh.
arch is, and
Yeah.
it hit like some kind of nerve. It hit something where I dropped. I fell in the water, and then I finally got out. But it hurt me the rest of the triathlon to a point where that's all I could think about for the bike and the
Oh,
run.
man.
I couldn't. Like all I could think about was like, oh, this is going to hurt the whole entire time.
Even on the bike, it
Even on
hurt
the bike was even almost worse because like any movement on it was
Like
terrible.
tenderness, yeah.
Oh, it was so
Is that
bad.
how you tried to get out of it? You were trying to get out of it, just stomped on a rock, like take me out.
I stayed
Nobody
underwater. I
came to your
tried
aid.
to drown. I tried to drown, but they pulled me.
Nobody
out.
came to your aid, so you're like, well, I better keep running.
But so I was able to still finish with that. So I feel like, I mean, pain in the feet I could get through, even though it was like rough. The
Yeah.
next day the
Ugh,
whole
blisters are
bottom of my
like-
foot was just black and blue too.
Blisters are like knives hitting your wherever they are, your feet, every single step.
I feel like I could deal with that kind of pain more than I can deal with internal pain though.
it,
Surface pain
oh,
that's not like the chafe isn't.
See, I would take a chafe over blisters.
really?
Yeah,
Tender
blisters
feet
just
there.
ruined me. Blisters.
Can you
ruined
walk
me.
on gravel barefoot?
I mean, yeah,
I
but I
can't.
look like an idiot.
Ooh, hi.
I hate it. I
Pokey.
cannot do it. Yeah.
I
I'm with
used
you.
to be able to
Okay.
do it, but
All right. Final answer, Kane. What do you pick?
Yep, still going with the. I'll take the
Side
side cramp
cramp,
over the
side cramp.
blisters.
I'm
Jim?
definitely
Final
100%
answer.
blister.
Blister. I will pick last minute change side cramp.
For what reason?
Whoa!
For what reason? After hearing Kane's point and thinking more about the blisters I've had and the long term effects, I'd rather power through it with a side cramp.
Yes,
But you've
gained a
had
follower.
okay. Guys can keep your answers, but you've had small side
I will
cramps that like go away. This is lasting the whole entire time.
This is a beanbag gun.
This is
Point
literally
blank.
from start to finish. This is happening the whole entire
I've
time.
had some pretty bad ones
Listen,
in training. Like
the
side
blister is
cramps,
not going to
but
affect you in the water. This is a triathlon. The blister is not going to affect you in the water. You try
It's gonna
breathing the
make it
side cramp in the
softer.
water.
It's going to make your blister softer,
The
which
blister won't
instantly
affect
popped.
you that much on the
Gone
bike.
when you're in the bike.
It won't affect you that much on the bike. It'll a little bit.
This might be true.
I'm just saying. If this is a whole triathlon, that side cramp, you could drown.
Ooh.
You could drown. You
It de-
That's a
yeah,
good
it
point.
depends on where the blister is on the foot for the bike.
I'm
Yeah.
not swode.
well, there's
didn't swallow
blisters
me.
everywhere. I don't know, blister me out, baby.
That is a good point, but I would take a side cramp for the entire thing to not have blisters just on the run.
I would have my arms cut off
I
before I run with
feel
a
like
blister. all right?
you guys don't know what a bad side cramp feels like.
Yeah, maybe I've never actually had a really bad side
I don't know if
stitch.
you know what a bad blister feels like.
You ever get to the point where you drop to your knees and pray to God to take you away because your side
Gasping.
cramp hurts?
Try to hold your face underwater just to end it.
I mean, I get random side cramps just like sitting around the house sometimes where like you go to breathe in and like it catches you. You ever get those?
Oh yeah,
yeah, it's kind of like that, but it's all the time.
But
and
if you
also
can't,
try
okay,
running.
if you can't breathe, I would pick blister.
It's you can breathe. It's just a weird way
It
of
just
breathing.
affects the
It's
rhythm.
harder. You get shorter breaths. It's like a
Running with a blister is a weird way of running.
running with a blister.
Blister.
I'll just do it. I'll
Anyway.
just bleed. I'll bleed and ruin my shoes.
We got the
Move
final
on.
answers of that one. We are moving on to the next. This is a little more not so crazy paint oriented. It's a good
It's
one.
pretty low key.
Would you rather
It's
do
more
all of your
preference.
running on a trail or on a road? All of your running, so race running, training, everything. Running.
Am I training?
focus.
Am I training for an ultra or not?
You're training, Kane. Every running
You're just
training you've
training.
ever done in your life.
You're training for your
Well,
life.
okay. Define
Training-
trail.
training
This
for
is
life.
Trail
trail
is
just
in the
means
woods. In the woods.
in the
Basically, like a
woods,
trail,
okay.
like a
dirt
made trail.
dirt
It's
path
not like
in the
you're
woods.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because you're not just
Jumping
running
over
trail
trees.
in the woods.
Uneven, up or down, rocks, roots, all that. Yep.
Yeah. So you guys say roots, right?
Root.
Root.
Root, or roots.
Root.
I can't remember. I get made fun of for one of them, and I just switch them, and I throw it out there. I forget which one is.
The tree
Made
roots.
fun of.
I'd probably say roots. I
Roots?
probably said
I'd
root.
say root.
I said root right
I've said
there
root.
because
Maybe that's the one.
you said
Root.
root, and then I. So I
Would you
said
say
the opposite.
root beer or root beer?
Root.
I say root beer,
Root beer.
I say root beer.
root.
But
but then I say root for
But
everything
if,
else.
for trees, it's root.
do you say roof or roof?
Roof. I say roof because roof is dumb. I work. I
Hey,
said
the
roof.
roof.
Roof. I say roof every
Well, then
time.
how about route? Do you say route or route for
route?
like ROUTE?
What?
I say root.
Oh, yeah, because
I say both
you're
actually.
fancy boy.
Like Route 66? You say Route 66? Get your kicks on Route 66.
Well, I would say Route 66 because that's the lyrics that they pronounce. That's how it goes.
they
but
define it.
If it's
Anyway, I
like
digress.
if I'm running a running route, I'm not running a running route. Like, oh,
People
what?
say
That's
that.
true.
Hey,
I would
what's
use
the
that. I
route
would use
that you're
too.
running today? I wouldn't say that.
Well, I don't know why
ever
you
in my
pronounce
life.
the T so strong.
What's the route that you're running?
What route?
The
What is
route
the
you're
route?
running.
The route I'm running, my route is 5 miles.
All right, so a trail, you have tree roots
Or the
around
road.
you and rocks, or on
But
the
it's
road.
not like terribly. It's
No,
I
no,
think
no,
it's
but
more
I'm
the
just
preference
defining
of
it- yeah.
But you still get
Trail.
the earth
So,
underneath you and not like
to me,
pavement.
the pros of trail is you have. I love running trail because your mind's more engaged because you're looking at footing more carefully than
Yeah.
on the road, and you also have really pretty scenery around you. You generally in the woods, you might see some wildlife. It's kind of nice. Road
Bears.
can be very monotonous in that regard. So I lean toward trail more, but I feel like training for anything or even racing. No, I like trail.
I know what you're
That's
saying.
my initial
'cause,
answer.
like I think in trail running, yes, you have to like watch where you're going for footing, and I think the road takes that away to where for me I can focus on time, like I can focus on
Yeah.
pacing better because
Yeah,
I
that
just
is-
have to
that's
straight
true.
run, so I can almost like time my pace perfectly and feel it better. But I enjoy trail running a lot more. It feels like you're going fast. It feels like it's faster. You're doing a lot of turns sometimes, and it's not so straight. And I enjoy the trail more. But
Yeah, it would be a lot harder to pace, especially if you're doing all different types of trails.
yeah, but it's a lot more fun.
That's very true.
Yeah, I thrive in monotony. So I love like the roads out by my house are all like flat. There's curves obviously, but they're just flat. There's no hills. It's just easy terrain, and I love. I mean, I know it's not the best for training because you're supposed
Do
to
you
do
have
hills
like
and
3 routes that you do though, or is there a lot of options? Because I know you're more
um
rural.
I
Rural.
have
So do
quite
you
a
say
few
rural
options.
or rural?
Rural.
Rural, rural, yeah.
Rural.
Rural.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I have a lot of options because I am right on the intersection of two like highways, quote unquote
Yeah.
highways. They're not huge freeways, but there's quite a bit of traffic. So, anyways, there's a lot of cut across roads in between them. So I can always like cut, like I have like a 5 mile route, a 6 mile route, a 7, 8, 11, and then I can do out and backs on the highways too.
I have
So I
pretty
got
much
tons of
I have
options.
pretty much one
I
from my house, one route on the roads. So monotony, like I do the same route like every time. I have a three,
I get
a
so bored with
four,
that.
a five, a
I
seven,
have a
and 10.
3 that I do that has a monster hill in it. And then I just for my 2 right now I've been running out a mile and back, part of the 3. And then I have a half-mile route that I could just like if I don't feel like if I'm not committed to a certain run, I'm like I'm going to take it a half mile at a time and decide past my house like nope, one more. And just keep going. That's how I break it down. And then I go to the woods and I do have a nice spot for trail running, and when I commit to drive out there, it's so easy to do 4. Like
Yeah.
for me it's easier to do longer distances like when I drive somewhere because I'm mentally committing to like okay, I'm going to do this.
It's easier for me to do long distance because I physically commit to it. Like all of mine are
Because I'm not a wimp.
it's like
Just
all
do
of
it.
mine are like not out and back, but like a square. Like so I'm running
A
and
loop.
as long as I get to the point that's over halfway,
Oh yeah.
then it's like,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
I have to get back. I
You're
can't.
running on a grid
Yeah,
system.
so I put myself far enough away where I can't give myself. If I did what you did and passed my house, I'd be done every time.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, it felt like a great half mile.
Well,
I'm good for
yeah.
the day.
Got 0.52 miles in today.
0.52 miles.
That is my
Carry
route.
the
It's
decimal.
0.52 miles. That's right. I always make that mistake.
52 miles.
52 miles. Oh man. Oh, I got into good. Would you rather for the future? So trail.
Would you
I would
rather run
pick.
0.52 or 52 miles?
Yeah, that's it. That's gonna be the one. So I still say. I
Would you
still
rather
say
run
trail.
a half mile or break all your legs?
I would do trail. If so here's a good maybe scenario. If you could leave your house and go have like multiple trail options and multiple road options, what would you find yourself doing more?
That
Just
is a
walking
good-
out of your house to do. I would definitely do trail every time. Maybe if I'm like feeling kind of
frisky.
and they don't have to be like they don't have to be like crazy trails like hills, but if it's in the woods, if it's more of like a dirt on the rainy days, I'll go on the road.
I think I'm a
Stay
road
out of the
guy.
woods. Really?
I
still
think I'm
a
a
road
road
guy.
guy. There is something about the road. I can still get unless I'm forced to be on pavement for this question, which is fine. Like some people, pavement hurt them when they run. Like it bothers
Yeah,
them a
yeah.
lot. I don't get that issue too much. But I like the road. I like seeing where I have to get to and getting there. Like when I have long distances to run before I turn.
I think what the trail does for me is it focuses me in on like the path that I know like the monotonous you can kind of escape from like what's happening too and just like let your mind wander. But trail is like it's like almost like a shorter viewed world where I'm like looking at the next 6 steps instead of like I can see my turn a half mile ahead and I'm like, oh dang it. So I like that.
In terms
where
of fun, I'd rather a trail. I did a 5K last year and it was like pretty much all trail and it felt like it went by so fast because it was just it feels like you're sprinting. So you're running faster as fast as you would on the road, but it feels like you're sprinting when you're taking all these like turns and curves. So I kind of like that part of it.
Downhill trail running, like I love going steep downhills and just doing really quick feet and
Dodging
one
all
mistake,
the roots.
you're done.
The roots.
All
The roots.
all them roots.
But yeah, I mean, for my
Yeah.
answer, I'm a road guy. Sorry, King.
Yeah, road
Yeah.
guy.
I'm still a road guy.
Came
Just because.
two roads. All right.
Yeah.
So you guys are gonna run. We're gonna run with a side cramp on the roads.
Look at that. We got a trail between two roads here.
Yeah. Oh man, I did the wrong one. Here, I got it.
Wait. We got a trail.
Redo.
We got a trail between two roads here.
There's a little delay. Got a little soundboard. It's a drum roll. I was like, drum.
Hearing myself.
Oh, it went twice. It goes on loop.
No, I keep hearing
right.
myself.
Yeah, I hear myself when I talk to you.
Really? I don't at all. So it must just be your setup.
I don't know. Maybe as I can get over it as long as it doesn't on the recording of this. As long as it doesn't hear it.
Good news though, I
it
got a new
shouldn't.
mic coming for next
Yes,
one.
Kane's got a new mic. I got a new
Ooh,
4K
good.
camera coming with our
Really?
Nice.
No, I don't.
Nice.
I wish.
4K camera? Oh, Kane sent you his.
With our Try Guys
Still
funds.
give you one.
Our Try Guys funds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, money's just been pouring in. It's been crazy.
This has been the
The
best
Patreon
decision we've ever
The
made.
Patreon's taken off.
I'm about to quit my job. Not even on platforms yet, and people somehow mailing me some cash.
Oh,
All right.
yeah. I'm sorry. You go next.
Yeah,
No, go ahead.
No, I got
go
something
ahead.
to say.
No,
in
go ahead.
closing.
No, go ahead.
No,
Go ahead,
it's
go ahead.
something that's
Yeah.
not to do with the word you rather.
go ahead,
We might
Jimmy.
have a
Go ahead.
guest.
Now everyone's wondering.
We're going to have a guest.
Wondering.
We have a guest lined up at some point.
That's news to me.
Yes. I was going to be in the new news. the
The
new
new
news
news.
section. But we will have a guest. A guest that's ran 4 Ironmans. But that's for the future. That's an announcement of an announcement.
Okay.
We'll
do I have
announce it
anything for that?
when we are ready to announce it.
There we go.
Yeah, that's the
And the
announcement.
crowd goes wild.
right there. Okay, sorry. Now I screw up the outro music.
All right, now do
Keep
our
talking.
Keep talking.
sound.
Well, I gotta
do
reset
our
the
sound
outro.
bite into sound goals. Or squad goals.
Squad
Yep.
goals.
Sound goals.
Okay, what's a sound bit for squad goals?
Squad.
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 I like that. That'll work. What's that?
Kane.
Squad. No, Jimmy's.
Squad.
That works. That works.
Well, you got it.
No, I didn't.
Oh, I
get
thought
it.
you
I'm not
grabbed
recording
it as like a
No,
sound.
I'm trying to set the outro music for later.
Oh, okay.
I keep playing with the soundboard and it screws me up.
All right, let's not.
I gotta fix this. All right, squad
All right.
goals.
Squad goals.
So we have to. Do you have the?
I do.
the
I'm
passwords
ready.
up?
Okay.
All right.
let
So
me-
I'll hand it over to you. You pick someone
We're
and
gonna start with who did we start with last week? I think we started with Jono last week. We're gonna start
you
with
did start with me.
Kane this week.
Kane,
Kane.
no buts.
Hey, drum roll, please.
Kane's-
Drum roll,
Oh, dude,
please.
I just set the outro music.
All right, fine.
Kane's
Okay.
squad goals for last week. Kane said he was going to work
sorry.
out. He was going to have 5
Click.
workouts in the next 7 days. We are actually more than 7 days out. Yes. No. What's today's
Well,
Saturday?
this is the 8th day, but
Okay.
so yesterday was 7 days.
Okay.
If we counted the day that we recorded,
Right.
so
Kane.
7 days otherwise.
5 workouts in the last 7 days. Nice, easy one to hit. I know you got it right.
No.
Oh.
Yeah. So I forgot about hunting camp, and that kind of threw a wrench. in
You
my
didn't
plan.
chase down them deers? Weren't you catching
No.
deers?
The plan was to shoot one opening morning, but that didn't happen. So I got 3 workouts in, 3 out of 5. So that's like a D minus, right?
So you
Did one-
failed.
We,
in
we
two
did one.
things
We did a
this
partner
week.
one together. Did you include that?
Oh yeah,
Our partner workout.
Yes, I included that. That counted. That counted
that
as
was
like
one
2,
in the
man.
count.
That was brutal. That was
That was
not
brutal.
fun.
So you failed at 2 things.
Okay, so
this week.
we failed at getting a buck. We failed at our squad goals. Okay, so now do you have next week hunting? Oh, well, actually, we have a shorter
It's a
Plan-wise,
so what?
we
Yeah.
have-
So what's the recording schedule look like?
planning wise, like 5 days out.
Yeah, we might have 5 days.
I think
We're
like
gonna do Wednesday.
Yeah,
We'll say in the next 5 days. Yeah.
5 days out.
So
I was
Sunday,
trying, like 2
Monday,
workouts or something.
Tuesday, Wednesday.
I'll go about 52 miles.
Well, no, that's only 4 days,
0.5, dude.
unless you're
Well-
counting today.
We'll get out and run, boy.
Well, and all of Wednesday.
No,
it'll
I'm
be
just-
it'll
I'm
be
just
Wednesday
for it.
night, so we have.
Oh,
I know,
shoot.
but
Oh
Sunday,
yeah.
Monday,
So like 4
Tuesday,
days out.
Wednesday.
Okay,
yeah,
4 days out.
4 days. Oh, that's short.
But yeah, we'll get.
We could just give an update on what the goals are for. Let's keep it to a week and just update where you're at for that week. Or no?
No.
Yeah, we got to get on a better
Yeah.
recording schedule.
That's all right.
Well, we're trying to also bag
We're feeling
bag some episodes so we can, in case we have stuff that like someone can't make it. But anyway, that's
Yeah.
That's business talk.
That's internal discussion.
This isn't a business podcast.
That's a closed meeting discussion.
This is a horseback ride.
Yeah,
Okay.
just like the closed meeting of a guest. I'm just kidding.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
So Sunday I'll get a workout in. Monday I will get a workout in. Tuesday I'll get a workout in, and I'm gonna do 4 workouts the next 4 days. I'm gonna go 4 for 4.
Wow. Setting yourself
Ladies
up
and
for
gentlemen, that's a big
success.
one. He has hit.
tall drink
He
of
has so
water.
far hit 0 of his squad goals, and he's setting even
Yeah.
bigger.
But he's God hope.
This guy.
Well,
does
I'd be doing
not
2
give
days
up.
on 2 of those days.
That's true.
Well, remember this is the same conversation from last episode. What define a workout? Walked up the stairs. That's a workout.
I got out of bed.
Walked down the
I
stairs.
did walk
That's
to
a
my
workout.
blind many times, so I got like 16 workouts.
Was it an up in the air blind or a ground blind?
It was a ground blind, but it was a far walk. It was at least 300 yards.
Dude, I've seen videos of these people. Okay, in the tree blinds, like they'll be next to like kind of a sapling type tree or like a skinnier type tree, and to get down, they'll just grab onto it and jump off, and then just like float down on the tree.
Wow.
Major
I've also
spinners.
seen the videos where that they tried it and that
They
didn't work.
miss?
No, the tree just snaps and they fall
Snaps,
from
yeah.
like 15 feet up. But the ones at work look really cool.
Oh, I thought you meant like a fireman pole.
No,
But they're
no,
just like
They-
riding,
they-
like the Boeing. It's Boeing.
They-
and
They
Like,
grab the
bend it,
top
yeah.
and it bends down, and then yeah, like they
Okay.
like going catapults up, you know. And I've seen one where the guy goes down and it snaps halfway down. It's not fun to laugh
Oh,
at
that's
that.
great.
Okay. Jono last
I'm
week
up.
said he was gonna have 4 days of at least 2 miles. Let's hear it. Did he get it?
Hey, I surpassed it.
There we go.
Yeah, by 1 mile on one of the days. So I did
Okay.
4 days of at least 2 miles. If you find me on Strava, you will see exactly 2 miles.
That's another thing. Follow us all
Or,
on Strava if you
Yes.
listen.
And
We'll follow
3.2
back.
miles, I think, was the one day. That was the 27-degree weather day, and I was proud of myself.
Nice.
And the other one
So
was too. But anyway, yeah.
That's Jono's
So I
first
hit
from
my
last
goal.
week. And the other goal that you had set was release the first episode on podcast platforms, which he did, folks.
I did.
Our first episode is
On-
out there. And if you do listen to it, be sure to give it 5 stars. And
I don't
leave a
really know
review.
stars are a thing. What
On-
platform
they are
is
on
stars a
Spotify.
thing?
Spotify.
Spotify is 5
I give
stars.
you
I
stars?
give us 5.
I never give stars.
And leave us a review on Apple Podcasts if you can. That's how we get.
so it's Apple,
more.
Amazon, and
Amazon too. Okay.
Spotify.
I don't know what Amazon.
Amazon has podcasts?
They have music, I think. Amazon Music. I don't know.
Okay.
Software I use, it just lists a bunch of them I've never heard of. I'm going to throw them. I just throw it out there, see what sticks.
But yeah, we'll
Nice.
see. We'll just
Very
keep,
nice.
keep trying.
So other ones will be coming. Yeah. I just.
So
So yeah, I finished both squad goals.
Jono got the squad star.
days.
Jono's got the squad star for this week, I think. We'll
Squad
see. We'll see
star.
what I did. But now for next week, for
We
the next
the
4 days,
Monstars.
Jono.
MON.
For the,
Anybody? The Space Jam.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
Space Jam. Yep. No,
Yeah.
I got
No,
it.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, my mic was muted.
I was
Sorry,
laughing on the
my
inside.
mic was muted.
My mic was. I didn't hear what you said. All right, so I hold the squad star unless you dethrone me.
Well,
I
what
don't
are
know
you
how
gonna
that
do?
works.
What's your
Your
next
squad.
week? What's
The
your
squad.
squad?
Yeah,
goals?
yeah. Okay, my next week. Probably should have planned this better. So I want to keep the running game going. So 4 days. Tomorrow's gonna be tough because I got early morning stuff. I'm gonna do 7 miles
Total in the 4 days.
total. Yes.
What? 7 miles
typing?
total. In 4 days. I
Okay.
typed in 7 miles. in
52
total.
miles. 52 miles in 4 days. Okay, 7 miles total
Okay,
in 4 days. That seems
that's
doable. And
Oh,
not,
So that's under 2 miles per day.
yeah, but I can't run tomorrow because I have early morning commitments and I won't run in the evening. I'll
Yeah,
tell you
gotcha.
that. So basically 3 days.
Gotcha.
So is that it's? I mean, that's fine if that's your.
No,
We should
and
probably
I
leave
am
it to
doing.
one.
I guess
not like overbear ourselves, you know.
yeah. Well, we're recording before Thanksgiving, but I am going to do a 5K turkey trot. That might not
Ooh,
be an official
same.
one.
You doing the turkey trot, Kane?
Yeah, come do it. 8 a.m. Come on.
Do it. Do it.
Ah,
Do it.
we'll
If you
talk
commit
later.
on here,
We'll talk
you
later.
have to say.
I
commit right
probably
now.
won't, probably won't do it. But
Well,
we'll
if you
talk
say you
later.
will do it right now, you will do it.
I would do it, but I don't want to do it for a race, and I would do that, and then I
But
would.
it's a turkey trot. It's that you're trotting.
Well, no, We're bringing Audi, so we're gonna push a stroller.
That's easier.
Yeah, just run.
People always
just
say
run
that's
with Kane.
harder. Running with a stroller's easier, and people are.
Right, that's the point.
I
It's
know.
not a race.
I know it's a
Run
trot.
with Kane.
If,
Just be
as
like,
long, like,
not-
are we gonna go out at
Hey, last
540?
100.
540 mile pace.
No,
The
we're
wind
gonna go out
pushing
at
Audi
6-minute
back.
pace.
No, I
gonna
might.
do a
I might.
6-minute
I'll
pace.
think about it.
6-minute pace. Yeah.
But so, John, was
All
that
right, so
yours?
Jimmy's doing. That's going to be your squad goals. I'll
Nope,
type it in
don't
for
do
you.
that. Was that yours? Only one the 7 miles in 4 days.
7 days. Yeah.
Okay.
But,
So-
so then I guess next recording I'll talk about the turkey trot.
Okay, so my my squad goals for resistance training days. When was our last recording? Thursday.
Yep.
A week ago Thursday. So I did my 4 days.
No, I think it was Friday.
Oh, but
was
I had
Friday.
our CrossFit, so that was one of them. So I had my 4 resistance training days. Did I run?
Huh.
Nope.
I did not.
Check on
I didn't
Strava.
run, but I did bike for an hour on one.
You
of the
did?
days. I did.
That was like an hour and a half, wasn't it? Or
It
no,
was like an hour and 2 minutes or something. But I did not run.
Oh, that's what I saw. The
So,
2.
I
thought
failed.
29.
I failed once. That's fine. So
So I
this
keep-
week,
Right? It's better than
The
failing every
squad
time.
star.
this week I will do. I'm gonna swim. I'll bike.
It's a short week.
I know. I don't want to make it easy. I will do. Man,
I don't know if I have a Jeopardy sound over here.
oh my gosh. Okay, I will do
Do,
two.
do, do, do,
I will do 2 days of
do,
biking
do.
on top of. So I'm already doing like resistance training. I'll be doing Monday and Wednesday, and I'll be swimming Tuesday. So I don't want to put that because that's what I do every week. So on top of that, I will do 2 days of biking. I won't.
Well, that's your old mentality that you got to get faster every time you go.
But it's
Just list what
I don't
you're
know. It
doing.
just feels like a cop out when I use what I've been doing.
Oh.
I need to do like this should be the extra stuff, which I'll do 2 days of biking. Or I'll do 2 hours total biking.
So you're gonna
Throughout the
resistance
next 4
training
days.
Wednesday.
Monday, Wednesday, I do
Swim, and
I
then
do
2 hours.
training and then I swim on Tuesday.
So you're gonna do 2 a day.
Yeah.
One of the days.
One of the days, yeah. 2 of the days.
Wow.
Wow.
Because you're not doing anything tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow my Sundays are off. Plus,
Rest.
I like tweaked my back a little bit deadlifting Friday, and then I tweaked
You didn't
my
twist.
I tweaked my stomach this morning at the brush pile. I was jumping to grab a branch. It was so embarrassing, but we were trying to pull a dead branch off, and I was like, "Oh, I got to pull this branch down." And I was full snowsuit and like that, so I jumped and reached, and I reached backwards, and it's like pulled one of my lower abdomen really hard. But I should be fine by Monday. But yeah, so that's mine. I'm gonna do 2 hours total biking. I'm sorry it took so long to think. I don't know why I didn't just say it. Whatever. But 2 hours total biking.
Hey, we
on top
forgive
of
you.
everything.
We got to it. That's all.
That'll
that
be mine.
matters.
So Jono gets
All
a
right.
squad star this week.
I'm typing that in here. Squad star. We'll
Hey,
figure out
Jono! Woo!
Make sure you type
Star.
week 3 after it.
week 3.
Who got the star last week?
Not you.
I don't think any of us did.
Probably Jimmy.
No, I think I did actually. Yeah.
I don't know.
So can we
don't-
each
don't
get a
even- we
star
ju-
every time?
Yeah,
We
you can
just
get a
made
star
up the
if you.
star on the spot today.
I guess we'd have to. It'd be subjective if everyone completed. their
No,
goals,
you'd have
then
to
it'd
go
be
above and
subjective.
beyond.
It'd be subjective. No, it'd be subjective of like whose was a harder squad goal. I'm already above and beyond. I got 3 workouts that I don't even include in my squad goal.
Hey, you didn't want to say those.
Yeah, but I got it. I mentioned it twice now because I want everyone to know that I do these 3
A
workouts.
squad star is to live up to your own squad goals.
And if you guys didn't know, I do 3 workouts on top besides these.
So you're doing more than just what your squad goal is.
And I have blisters.
I'm just trying to get to the root of this cause.
Yeah. Ooh. Nice word drop.
Or what's that called?
All right,
When we
well.
reach back and came full circle with that one.
Full. Well, I guess we
Circular
started-
economy. I love it.
Yes.
All right, so that's
All right,
pretty
well.
much that's squad goals.
That's pretty much it here. I think that's a good transition point, and we hit probably our longest episode to date.
Well, we started with some good banter.
We
Yeah,
did.
some good
Talk about Swedish
hunting
pancakes. And
banter. That was fun.
Oh, Swedish.
Now
Pistons.
we do have a guest coming up at some point. I don't know if it's gonna be Wednesday. I can talk to him. We'll have to figure out what day we want him on.
Stay
He's
tuned.
done Ironmans, and it'll be a good resource to talk to for us to learn more about.
Oh man, that has to be like just a full hour special, because I feel like I could just keep asking him questions.
Yeah, and he'll be
Suck all
pretty
the
good
knowledge
at.
out
Yeah,
of
he'll
him.
be very good at explaining.
This is good.
it
This is
to
good
you.
offline conversation.
Yeah, but also
I'm
listen.
just gonna
to our
press this play
podcast.
button. Oh.
Review 5-star. Leave good reviews for us, please. And maybe if you leave good reviews, we'll read it at the beginning of the show. And watch our YouTube videos, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Or if you leave
too.
bad, we definitely will read it.
Well, if you leave really bad,
I'll
then
leave the bad review.
I might quit, might cry. Might cry, I'll quit.
Leave a 5-star review with a really bad actual verbiage.
Yes,
review.
and then we'll
That would
read
be-
it.
That would be fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Then we'll read it.
anything that's I will read anything that's 5 stars.
Harris Town.
Anything that's
Tear
5
us in
stars,
half.
I will read. You put on that teleprompter, I read it.
It's like,
Put on
I'm
a
Ron.
teleprompter.
I'm burning. Good. Here we go. Let's outro this stuff. You've been listening to the Try Guys podcast. We thank you for joining us. Find us on all the platforms, and we'll talk to you next time.
See ya.